With just one glance, Robin was captivated by the beautiful woman in front of him. The two soon fell in love. That's when the brother told Diana, "He is a foreigner and poor. You can choose a better one." But Diana said,
The thing is, I just know this is it.
Robin used to fly Diana around the world in his plane. Even when he was working, he took her on camping trips with him. Their relationship grew. Soon they entered into marriage, and a new baby was born. But at that moment, God seems to have played a joke on them. After a tennis match, Robin suddenly collapsed. Doctors later diagnosed Robin with poliovirus, paralysis of the whole body. He had to be on a ventilator to survive, and the doctor also predicted that he could live at most 3 months. This is a bolt from the blue for Robin, who loves adventure, listening to the sound of the ventilator, looking at the dull ceiling, and then die in silent pain. It was too painful to live like that. He said countless times to his friends who came to visit him, "Let me die." But Diana did not give up on her husband. Under her care, Robin, who was diagnosed by the doctors as having less than 3 months to live, survived. During this period, Diana gave birth to a lovely boy. This also brought a ray of light to Robin's gray life. And so, Robin lay in the hospital for 3 years.
You really must leave me here to rot now.
And apparently, I love you.
Makes it harder for me.
You'd rather just pack it in.
Get me out of here.
Then, after thinking about it, Diana made a bold decision. She was going to take her husband home to recuperate. The doctor, of course, was very much against it, but she secretly took her husband out of the hospital with her. Seeing the clear sky again, Robin's face finally had a long-lost smile. Back home, Robin did not stay idle, although unable to move, but he also wanted to take on the responsibility of taking care of the family. He began to read the newspaper and began to speculate in stocks. People have good and bad luck in life. Robin was very smart. He made a lot of money by speculating in stocks. Once he overheard his son playing with his stroller. The idea suddenly came to his mind. He hurriedly contacted his good friend Mike. With the help of his best friend, they designed a wheelchair with a built-in ventilator. Robin can finally be rescued from the boring life of lying in bed. When his wife brought Robin back to the hospital, attracting many envious glances from the patients. But the dean still did not think highly of Robin's new invention. That day, the son turned up the photos of his father and mother's trip in Africa. The simple son asked his father,
Can we go to Africa, please, Daddy?
Wouldn't that be an adventure?
I can push you.
Rather long way to push, Jay.
I don't mind.
In order to fulfill his son's wish, Robin got a friend to modify the car and fixed the wheelchair on the passenger seat. In this way, the family traveled to Spain. In the company of his wife and son, Robin rediscovered the joy of life. A few more years passed. Once again, Robin's family embarked on a new journey. This time, they boarded a plane and flew to Spain with their car. Halfway there, the ventilator suddenly burned up. The family took turns squeezing the airbag to keep Robin breathing and set up a sun umbrella in the field, drinking afternoon tea, joking with each other without complaining, quietly waiting for friends from England to come to the rescue. People on the side of the road are curious to stop down, then listen to the legendary love story of the two. In the latter part of the night, they had a bonfire party until dawn. The friend who rushed over was dumbfounded. He thought his arrival would be like a savior.
You at least have the decency to be on the point of death. What the hell is this?
This unexpected event fills Diana and Robin's hearts even more. Robin began to hope to use his deeds to change more patients like him like this. After the trip, friend improved the wheelchair again. Robin knew the convenience and comfort that a wheelchair would bring him. After discussing with his friend, they decided to mass-produce the wheelchair. They then approached a charity, but they were turned down. But they didn't give up. The couple managed to raise the first amount of money by any means possible to build more wheelchairs. The hospital and Robin, like the patients, escaped from the cage. They saw the outside world, but Robin and his friends were not satisfied with that, so they went to a state-of-the-art hospital in Germany. Here the paralyzed patients lie in a sophisticated sterile room, like prisoners. This scene shocked Robin. What is the meaning of such a life? To make a difference, Robin and his group attended the World Conference on Caring for People with Disabilities. Ironically, there was not a single disabled person on the floor, because they were all lying on beds or in sterile rooms. To the consternation of the crowd, Diana slowly pushed Robin into the room. From the podium, Robin spoke the truth of his second life.
Now, I have a machine under this very seat, and it breathes for me. Now, when I first became paralyzed, I wanted to die, but my wife wouldn't let me. And every day since then, I've accepted the risk of dying, because I don't want to just survive. I want to truly live.
The stage erupted in a loud and sustained applause that, with his deeds and actions, he changed the fate of the future disabled. However, more than 30 years of using a ventilator, Robin's lungs were extremely susceptible to infection. As he lay in bed, Robin's throat continued to gush with blood. Doctors said the situation would get worse and worse. He could eventually drown in his own blood. For Robin, who is suffering from this disease, it is a miracle that he has survived this long. After thinking long and hard, he made a decision.
I'm going to let myself go.
No. God, you're a stupid, stupid man. What do you think I've been doing all these years? Your life is my life.
who had taken care of her husband for so many years, had a hard time accepting this. She walked away in anger. Then she came back. She knew she could not change her husband's decision. Diana invited all her friends and family to say goodbye to Robin one last time. There were people at the party who brought good wine that had been treasured for years. Some people were laughing and singing beautiful songs, but underneath the smiles, no one was sad for Robin. It was time for Robin to call the doctor. In the last moments of his life, "Dear
Darling, I expect you know this, but just in case, no one could have loved you as much as I've loved you."
seriously at the woman in front of him again. At some point, freckles and wrinkles have crept onto her face. In all these years, Diana shed tears for the first time in front of her husband. Robin knew that he owed his wife the most in his life. He apologized and said he was sorry. His wife burst into tears. She kissed her husband affectionately. As the ventilator stopped, he left this world forever.